Hey, beautiful souls. Are you ready to dive into some unfiltered conversations, dope vibes, and all the love that you can handle? Well, grab your favorite snack and drink because we're about to sip on some real talk, connect, laugh, and might even spill a little tea. So let's go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Sister Sip TV, your channel for all the news and fashion updates that you can use. So, I am not going to stay on long tonight. I actually just wanted to, I wanted to talk about a couple of things, but the main subject tonight is in regards to whitewashing, rinse, and repeat, basically. So I know that I haven't been active in a little while. After this election, I needed to decompress. So basically, that is what I have been doing, is decompressing and taking in what has happened. I don't know about y'all, but for me, this is a hot ass mess because we pretty much know what is about to go down. If you're not from the United States, you may not know, but you may be following what's going on in our political world today. But now that Trump has gotten back into the office, it's time for us to be working on our plan B, which we should have probably already been working on anyway. Because with this Project 2025, even though you guys have known, some of y'all have known about it, others are still learning about it, but now some of y'all are just fucking around and finding out about what's coming down the pipeline. And if you are one of the FAFOs, then I don't know what to tell you. As far as us as black people, we kind of know what has happened in the past. But I really have a theory on what is going on, and literally me taking some time out and just downloading and just adding everything up. It's all starting to make sense to me. I know that a lot of us have been feeling the change, in the air. It's just something in the atmosphere. The energy has changed. The vibrations are higher. It's a lot of emotions flying everywhere. So I know that we are in Uranus right now, and there are things changing in the astrology world, and pretty much there's an awakening. However, with that being said, I do believe that there's more going on. This is just my theory. Some of you may understand it, and some of you may think about it, and some of you may be feeling the same way too if you're waking up. Because see, this is what they call that wokeness that they didn't want y'all to, they want to try to get rid of. So basically it's about reprogramming. And what has been happening is people have been coming from up under their programming, their regularly scheduled programs. A lot of people have been waking up to the bullshit. So that's basically what has been going on. And so now that people are waking up and realize that even though we have been voting mostly Democratic, the only reason why we have, as black people, voted Democratic is because it's basically two wings of the same bird. But one wing of that bird has been more inclusive. The other side of that damn bird just wouldn't give a damn about none of us, except for the ones of us that's cooning and tap dancing for them, okay? And then you have the coons and tap dancers that's over here, and I call them all gatekeepers. And you know what? If you know, you know. I'm not going to even say who are the gatekeepers. If you know, you know. You figuring it out. And basically, with that being said, people are paying more attention. And honestly, I'm kind of perplexed in the whole situation, because at the end of the day, no. I don't want to go backwards. But at the same time, it is the unknown that drive us to move forward. And I'm excited about the unknown, because I feel like we could really have a leg up in this one. But it's gonna take the whole village, people. You know, when they talk about the immigrants and deported immigrants, I'm just going to say, if you were born here, and I'm talking about Black people that really don't know where you come from, you just know your family been here and basically, you know, enslaved in these states, and your families were enslaved in these states, you don't have to worry about this deporting shit. You know, I wouldn't even stress myself about nothing like that. Now, if you know that you came over here from somewhere else, and you can really follow your family history, I would be concerned. But at the same time, if we want to talk about immigrations, let's just say that when it comes to tracing your family roots as far as Americans, I'm just going to keep it straight up 100, which white people, think about it. You can probably trace your family history all the way back over there to the Roman times and Germany, all of that. You know, the Netherlands and all of that. If you can trace your great grandparents and all of them back there, guess what? You're immigrants, okay? So if we gonna go that route, then let's go that route, because then that means that a whole lot of y'all gotta go. Because guess what? Y'all can trace y'all family roots, which I believe that all the presidents can too. We're the only ones that can't. We are the only ones that probably can't trace our family roots. And I can go into something way deeper than that when it comes to that whole situation to begin with. But I won't right now. Right now, I want to talk about bringing the Bibles back into the schools. I am a Gen Xer. That being said, no, we pledged allegiance to the flag, but no, we didn't have no Bibles being taught to us in no classes. So here is my theory on that. Now, we know that Bibles they were teaching the Bible. I'm talking about the King James Version, the Christianity, which actually Christianity is absolutely nowhere in the Bible. So this is not, and I repeat, this is not our truth. There may be some truths in there, but no, this is not the original Bible. This Bible was created in a way to control people and fear mongering. I believe in the Most High. And with me studying the Torah and going back to the book of Jubilee, Joshua, and the book of Enoch, y'all are lying. Y'all are a whole lie. And we know, you can even go and Google where Christianity come from, and it'll tell you that it was indoctrinated as a way to control and dominate power over people. It was a way to control and dominate power over people. So, as we know, that's a bunch of bullshit. We know that, right? And even when I go and I look up some things, because I definitely want to know, it caused me to go back and look at when they started teaching, when was Bible curriculum being taught in the schools. Now, we do know that this all started back in maybe the 1800s, and I believe that in 1949. So basically, the generations before my generation, which is Gen X, were taught Christianity. They were indoctrinated into Christianity. This is a fact. Go look it up if you have a problem with it. They were indoctrinated into Christianity. And that being said, what did they do? See, this is where the programming and the whitewashing began in order to control us as Black people. I cannot speak for everybody else, but I can speak for Black people. This was indoctrinated to control us as a way of controlling us and having power over us. And every time one of us came to the understanding of what the hell was going on, and it started talking to our people about it, well, they ended up being unalive, like Martin Luther King, like Malcolm X. Okay, so we talk about all of these things that has taken place over time, and I'm telling you, it made me go back and see, when did they start the brainwashing programming? When did they start the programming as far as when we talk about us? Which I can probably go even deeper than that, but I'm talking about teaching that King James version of the Bible, which, again, like I said, it does not fit our narrative. It fits theirs to have power over us. Okay? So that happened with the baby boomers and the generations before. Again, we talk about slavery, and that wasn't that long ago, right? Okay. So in Generation X, which is why it brings me back to the whole experiment thing, the USA experiment. See, this is where it brings me back to that, because it really is an experiment. And these folks with this damn Constitution bullshit taught our parents, Gen Xers, taught our parents how to program us and, into indoctrinating us into the churches. But see, half of us were indoctrinated, half of us was not. Because even though they were indoctrinated into Christianity, there was still some that was questioning everything. But see, the ones that was questioning it, their parents, even though their parents was teaching them this, they still had questions because it didn't make sense. And then those questions itself, a lot of those boomers couldn't answer those questions. But see, On the other hand, let me just say, I'm saying this as far as I'm talking about black people. But as far as white people, as far as white people, I know when y'all was teaching y'all kids this stuff, y'all was teaching y'all children that they had power over us as black people. I guarantee you it was taught that way. That's why they feel privileged now. That is why they feel privileged now, and that is why y'all still want control over us. I know some of y'all are on the softer side of it, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, y'all still won't have to worry about as far as being treated a certain kind of way because of your skin color. We are the ones that's gonna still have to deal with that bullshit, just like when we was able to vote. And honestly, I feel like the only reason why black people was able to vote and we started voting Republican from the very beginning was because of the whole slavery, and taking slavery away, giving us rights. And we know for a fact that the South, which is where I am in the damn South, they didn't want black people to be free. They still wanted black people to be up under them. That's why Juneteenth actually happened in Texas. And it was the whole tax issue. See, some of us is waking up to the bullshit. And a whole lot of us are waking up to it. That's because a whole lot of us are coming from up under the brainwashing. See, we didn't really teach our children the way that y'all taught our parents and our grandparents. We wasn't with the bullshit. That's why y'all call Generation X the lost tribe. We are the lost tribe. But no, we're not the lost tribe. We're the woke tribe, which is why you don't want. That's why you make it a bad thing, because that's why you've made being woke a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing for y'all because of the fact that we are waking up to the bullshit, and ain't nobody got time for that no more. And it's our new generations, which is the millennials. I'm going to say half of the millennials, or maybe more than half of the millennials, they weren't indoctrinated. And Gen Z, and see, that's just the thing. See, I have children. I have millennials and I have Gen Zs. So I have two generations. Matter of fact, there are three generations, because I have millennials, I have Gen Z, and I have Generation Alpha, which is Generation A, and those are the babies that was born in 2009 and afterwards. So those babies are Gen Alpha. So again, it has all started over again. So now the programming has to begin once again. So you bring the Bibles into the schools. Now they're bringing the Bibles back into the schools. Again, they missed our generation. So it looked like this is an every 80-year type of experiment. So y'all skipped the Generation X because you felt like the boomers was going to teach us Yahweh. A lot of them did indoctrinate us into the Christianity, and then when we find out that Christianity it's not even in the Bible, some of us started asking questions. And so some of us broke away from it. Do we believe in the Most High? Absolutely we do. But we don't believe in that bullshit that y'all trying to teach us. That double thinking. Go look it up. We know what it is. And that double talking that y'all do in government. If you are here in the chat, put a 1 if you can hear me, because I have been talking and I definitely want to not just be talking because I am live, but I want to know that you can hear me talking, because this is some serious shit that I'm talking about. I'm talking about this biblical, this Bible going back into the schools. So now y'all ready to bring us back. Y'all want to teach our babies, because look at the ages that you are wanting to teach the Bible to. Kindergarten through 5th grade. So what y'all are doing is taking it back to the states, each state, to teach the Bible to our babies, so you can start brainwashing our babies and making them believe the bullshit that y'all out here peddling. Because that's what it is. It's the bullshit that y'all out here peddling, so they can be in fear, because that is a way to have power over people. So now it's time for us to wake the fuck up, black people. Wake up. Wake up. Because this is exactly what they are attempting to do with our babies. And the thing about it is, the schools, whatever public schools your babies are in, is a $60, they get a $60 incentive for each child. So just think about the black communities that's already not getting the money for their schools, because they are in neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods. So we're already a people that's struggling. No, not everybody's struggling, but see, then that's a whole nother subject, because then it'll take me back to the gatekeepers. Because the regular folks of us, we live in paycheck to paycheck, but then I hear somebody else say, white people and other people, well, we're living paycheck to paycheck too. But guess what? That's going to take me right back to the fact that you may be living paycheck to paycheck, but because of your skin color, you're still going to not endure the racism that we do as black people. And that is a absolute fact. You're still not going to endure that. It's going to hit your pockets for sure. It's definitely going to hit your pockets. As I'm sure it's already hitting some people's pockets, because I know that some people have already been laid off because of the tariffs that's coming. So you have the corporations that's already preparing for tariffs that are coming. And with that being said, they are laying some people off. Your grocery bill is not going to go down. Your energy is going to go up. So you're not going to get what Trump has been saying that you're going to get. You're not going to get that. So I hope that you know that's not going to happen. But let me tell you, for the $60 incentive that's coming into the schools for teaching the Bible, think about all the kids and think about the schools that really need the money. That's probably going to be in mostly what? Black communities again. So it's coming back to the black communities to what? Brainwash our kids, to continue the saga of fear-mongering our people, starting with the new generation. Because see, Generation Z, they are more spiritual anyway. So y'all see that this programming only lasts for what? About 80 years. So it looks like every 80 years you have to start the reprogramming again into our people, indoctrinating, continuing to keep them confused and continuing to make them think that they are lesser than, and this is the way that God wanted it to be. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So it's time for all of our people to wake up, because we done with the whitewashing. And see, what's happening now is, since we are waking up to the bullshit, Y'all have, and it's too late to try to, you cannot put it back in Pandora's box because the hinges is blown off of the box. So you can't put it back in there. So what you trying to do? You start trying to take certain books, not really teaching Black history because you don't want to, you really don't want your kids to know the bullshit that they came from. That's what you don't want to know. And you're afraid of our kids finding out. Because if they found out the truth, then that's going to be an even bigger problem. But it's too late. It's already done. Our kids are being taught. And I would advise Black parents, don't put your babies in these schools. Put them in a charter school. Black charter schools at that, so they can learn their history. Because they're not going to teach that in school. Another teacher is already going through that in Texas. In Texas, I don't care what nobody say. Texas is a racist state. And they greedy. Yep, born and raised. Greedy and racist. A lot of people don't hear about the bullshit that go on here in Texas. And you think that everybody is chilling. No, everybody ain't chilling. This is going on. As long as you think that people, you can treat Black people any kind of way, it's cool. But no, them days is over. Those days are over. Honestly, I truly believe that if you are a part of those parties, you need to come out of them. Honestly, we need our own Black party. We need our own Black party. And you know what? At the end of the day, if you are with us, you're with us. Join the Black party. Come from up under the bullshit. Come from up under those two parties and join the Black party. Because you don't believe in the racism. You believe that everybody should be equal. You believe that everybody should have the same opportunities, because we know for a fact that it does not. Everybody does not have the same opportunities. And even with those who are cool, I'm talking about the Republicans, and I'm talking about the Black Republicans and all the other folks that are Republican and cool with the deportation of the immigrants. But at the end of the day, when you think about the immigrants that they are going to be deporting, guess what? They look like us. They brown and Black people. But who they're not deporting Ukrainians. They're not deporting Germans. They're not deporting any of these other countries that look like them. They are only deporting people that look like us. Even Trump done said it himself. How come we couldn't get the Germans and all of that? See, this war that they are waging, it really does not have anything to do with Black people. It doesn't. This is not an us war. This is a them war. This is a them war. And when I say them, I'm talking about the Catholics and the Jews. It don't really have anything to do with us. It doesn't. Because see, if we really want to go into the Bible and you think about who are the true Jews, that's a whole nother subject. It's a whole nother subject. But this all has to do with power and the power of who is going to control people that look like us. That's what it's about. Who's going to control people that look like us and keep their money flowing? Because even if you decided to vote Republican and they do deport a lot of people, guess what? That's not going to give you an opportunity to get a better job. That's not going to give you an opportunity to get a better job. And then they talk about it's going to open up jobs for Maybe they consider that to be your black jobs. Maybe that's what they consider that to be. And maybe it'll open up jobs for them to make more money, and more of them to make more money. And you black folk that's already here, y'all can take those jobs. So basically, it's a hot mess. But if you don't believe it, just listen to our Texas representative, Congresswoman.
There has been no oppression for the white.
Hold on, let's see here.
It seems like you don't understand the definition of oppression, and I'd ask you to just refer to Google.
Well, I thought I was going to be able to pull her up.
Oppression is the
I don't know if y'all can hear it or not.
Or unjust treatment.
Let's see.
Or control. That is the definition of oppression. And so as I sit here as a black woman who...
I don't think you can see her, but you can probably hear her.
My colleagues wanted to make sure you understood the same black history that your side of the aisle wants to delete out of classrooms is because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work. We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen. That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed. That y'all are the ones that are being harmed. That's not the definition of oppression. You tell me the prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment that you had, and we can have a conversation.
If we're being honest here, this bill, which will wipe out every diversity, equity, and inclusion program in our federal agencies, plus those who contract with us, plus those who receive grant money, plus our schools, is nothing new. This is just the final piece of a decades-long obsession with targeting and dismantling anything that might give marginalized people a fair shot, including DEI programs, which honestly started the second the Civil Rights Act passed. Policies like affirmative action and diversity, equity, inclusion are the closest things we've had to the mythical bootstraps that some of my colleagues insist historically and currently harmed communities need to pick themselves up by. After centuries of efforts to keep us out of schools and universities, from jobs and elected office, Republicans targeting these policies are no accident. Why do predominantly conservative white men believe that the success of a black person or the opportunity or access of a black person is an existential threat to them? DEI is not given any unfair advantage that society itself does not already confer on certain Americans. It merely exists to ensure that all other people, that women, minoritized folks, queer folks, disabled folks, have the same opportunities to succeed and thrive in our workforce and our schools as people who have not had those opportunities systematically and legally stripped from them.
This Republican approach is as predictable as it is nonsensical. On one hand, they're saying that racism does not exist. On the other hand, they are saying there is rampant reverse racism. Well, how do you reverse something that never existed in the first place? Riddle me that. While this Republican policy may have a new name, it's the same old tired game.
Okay. So basically, there you have it. There you have it. This is exactly what. Okay. So basically, they wanted. There you have it to happen. This is what's going on. There you have it. This is exactly what is going on at this point. This is exactly what. And I think that I think this is what they wanted the whole time. You know, they want to go back to what they used to do and how they used to treat black people. This is what they want. So they're getting bold, out here being racist. And let's just be clear, the whole Nazi thing, and they say Jews will not replace us. Let's be clear, those are Catholics. The Christians, the Christianity, now they may have took some of the Catholic ways away from, kind of slid a little bit further away from their Catholic beliefs. But again, it's really all about controlling people. Because if you are a person that believes in God or loves God, then you would know that hating people that's not love. Y'all don't have a problem killing people. Y'all don't have a problem climbing up walls, acting like heathens, like you did on January the 6th. Those people right there are freaking idiots. They're freaking idiots. I just call it like I see it. It is what it is. Y'all are what you are. And y'all have the nerve to call black people uncivilized. No, we're very civilized. You have a problem with that. And then you have a problem with women being in power, especially black women and black men too, being in power because they run circles all around your asses. See, I think that the narrative was changed because they knew black people was the power. And it was stolen from us. Everything that you have, everything that we have done has been stolen from us. And the sooner people start waking up and seeing that, they're probably going to get pissed off. That's why you have a problem and you want to demonize the word woke. No, we just see. So yeah, we are waking up. We are woke to the bullshit that y'all been peddling all this time to our ancestors and to our children, to us. That's why we are considered the generation lost. But just like you had biblical, it was AD, then it was BC, and now you're switching around again to BCE. And that has 3 different meanings. How ironic is that if we are talking biblically? So it's either you can either look at it as before Christ era, before Common Era, and what's the other BCE? Let me see what it is. I'm interested to know myself what the other BCE is, because there's 3 different BCEs. Now you can look at it how you want to look at it, but BCE, I'm going to tell you what it stands for. Okay, so BCE stands for okay, so you had, see, this is according to the Pope. Yeah. Catholic Church. You had that CE stands for Common Era. So you have before Common Era. You have before Christ era. And then you have before let me see. The fact that it's changing, that says a lot about, it says a lot about y'all. Y'all want to keep changing shit to fit y'all narrative. It's all about control, and we know that. And that's just the thing. Black people know that it's all about control. So everything that you've been indoctrinating into our people is a whole lie. It's a lie. And some of our people are so stuck in the programming that they can't see past it. They're so stuck in your programming that they can't see past it. But I would advise anybody that come across this video to go look it up for yourselves. Go look it up for yourselves. So this is, they want to dismantle the schools. This is what Trump wants. And he wants to literally give the state the powers. And then the states that's Democratic states, they want to withhold money from those states, because those are the states that really, you have more black people, more people that are poor voting Democrat in those states. So you want to withhold money and suck the life out of those states that are voting Democrat, mostly Democrat. You want to suck the lives out of those people. And then in the states that are red, you're going to give them an incentive if they pick up the curriculum, the biblical curriculum in their schools, a $60 incentive. But if the schools does not want to pick it up, then you're going to withhold money from those schools. So let's just think about that. That will probably be mostly what? Black schools. Black schools. And so you're going to keep the money from the black communities. Either way, you're still messing with black people. We know what it's about. We know y'all game. And the game is up. It's up. It's up. Because we know about the whole currency situation, and we know what you're trying to do. But you know what? Our kids don't know, and the ones of us that's into the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency, they don't understand. Those wallets are going to be controlled by you white people, you good old white folks. So you'll be able to control their coins. They don't know that because you're not going to tell them that. But I'm telling mines. I'm letting mines know. They know what time it is. They know what y'all doing. And it's a lot more people are waking up to what y'all doing. And guess what? Y'all gonna fuck around and find out too. Y'all thinking people that voted the other way gonna fuck around and find out. Now y'all gonna fuck around and find out too. Because a lot of people that voted that way, they not with that. They not with what y'all doing. They not with it. And the ones of us that voted that way, it's because guess what? You know what? We always wanted better for our children. Better than what we had. And so with us wanting better for our children, what we do, we moved to the burbs and thought that putting our kids in these schools would be better for them until like they're going to really fuck around and find out because y'all didn't tell y'all kids like y'all should have told y'all kids, Gen X's, what it was, unless y'all gatekeepers. And y'all making the money, so y'all tap dancing for them. But you should have told your kids, because those are the ones that don't understand who they are as a people. And so they think that, they still talking about the civil rights. Baby, don't y'all understand that the only reason why y'all got the things that y'all have now is because of those same civil rights that enabled people like us to provide a better life for you? Your mama and them should have told y'all. Your mama and your dad and them should have told y'all that that's what it was. And it was because of the civil rights that y'all was able to be able to get those video games. And y'all was able to live in those better homes. It was because of the civil rights. So yes, it definitely affects y'all little asses too. If you don't understand it, I think you better wake up. But see, we already know what it is. And y'all don't want to listen to us, the ones of y'all that don't want to listen. You're about to find out why you should have been listening. And your mom and them about to find out why they should have been telling y'all. Or they may be telling y'all now, but it's a little bit too late because the damage has been done. But what I would advise people to do, because see, since the damage has been done, and then you have the pedos, you have the rapists that's about to be running the country. So you have all these people that have essays on their records, all these people that are cons and crooks. So I call it the triple C's that's on, that's up there. You got the coons, cons, and crooks, triple C's. But the ones tap dancing, you see that y'all didn't get the tap dancing to the cabinet now, did you? While y'all doing all of that tap dancing, yeah, it's not working out for you. I see that now. But the ones of you, if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you will soon find out why you should have been getting it and why we do need the Black Party. Because again, that's two wings on the same bird. Two wings on the same bird that's been happening. And again, you have some that are the softer side, but they're still privileged. And they still know who they are. So they don't want us to have it bad. But at the end of the day, it's still not better than them. Still won't be better than them. So it's kind of like good cop, bad cop. But guess what? At the end of the day, they both still cops. Both still cops. So again, like I said, you got the crooks in the cabinet now. Well, it was already crooks in the cabinet, but you got the bigger crooks in the cabinet now. So all you black people who have backgrounds since the hinges is off of Pandora's box, I would suggest that you put up a bigger fight. They need to remove convicted felons off of all the applications for any job, federal job, any job. They need to go off the application, because you know what? If a white man that's a crook and a thug can be the president, guess what? You should be able to work anywhere you want to, because we already know what time it is. See, it was never, again, we already knew this prison systems was not set up for them. It was set up for y'all black asses. Y'all didn't know that? We've been telling y'all that. We've been telling you. It was originally set up for y'all. It was a way of enslaving freed black people. They putting them back into slavery, because I do believe that they were arresting people back then, even for jaywalking. A black man jaywalk, your ass going to jail. All of that did happen. Just in case y'all didn't know, that happened. It happened, black people. So for those of us that are woke, tap on your kids' shoulders. Start tapping on their shoulders. Wake them up. It's time to get up, because we got to go to work. And we got to go to work as a people, because this ain't going to fare well for us. And you can't be scared. This is what it is. But it took a village to raise our parents. And we just got to go back to doing the same thing. We just got to go back to doing the same thing. And that's why we should have land. we should be purchasing land, building on land, building our communities back up. Because if we did have the Black Wall Street, but I don't even want to call it that. I'm going to call it Black wealth. If we want wealth in our community, because at the end of the day, the Wall Street came from what? Black people being sold. That's what that came from. So if we want Black wealth, then we need to have our own land and build our own communities and and if we had our own farms, there's nothing that we can't do. We can build our own irrigation systems. It's a lot that we can do ourselves. A lot that we can do ourselves. All we got to do is just go back to what we know. And we can keep all our own wealth in our own communities. Because it's more than one way to skin a cat. It is more than one way to skin a cat. We absolutely don't have to play that game. We don't. We don't have to play that game. Because we know that if we starve them, just like they're trying to starve us, we can mess them up too. So in that case, two can't play that game. I know a lot of y'all started playing the game, going into Hollywood and getting caught up in that cult life, because that's exactly what that is. Because we can go all the way back, and they talk about, if they talk about the whole everybody is gay and all this kind of stuff. Don't y'all know that they did that a long time ago? The Romans, all you gotta do is go back and look at the movies. Go back and look at it, because you know what? They was giving you signs and parables. They was telling you stories. And you know what? At the end of the day, truth is stranger than fiction, because it's a lot of truth in what they call fiction. So just go back and look at some of the things that I'm talking about. Go back and look at it. Go back and look at it. And even with the FBI, allegedly, go look at J. Edgar Hoover. The Diddy party started long before Diddy. And they call it blackmail. So you have, and just listen to it, blackmail. All they did was take the spelling, which it was blackmail. See that's same word spelled two different ways with two different meanings. They just spelled it differently, but they meant it. A blackmail. So they blackmailed. Go look it up. Go look it up. Before they wash that out. See, there's certain things that they don't want people to know about, allegedly, that had some truth to it. So all them secrets, don't just demonize your people that fell into the trap. Look at who set the traps. And that being said, I said I wasn't going to be on here long tonight. And I meant that I'm not, because I'm about to get off right now. But I would suggest that you go and do your homework. Do your homework on this. Because, again, putting the Bibles back in the school, see, they missed our generation. So it's like every 80 years, they have to reset it. And they have to start the programming once again. And getting our children to believe in their white Jesus. No. So, do not let your kids go into these schools. It's time for, you know what? It is time for black people to start pulling out. Creating our own. And just so you know, with the whole, when they're talking about World War III and nuclear war, just so you know, if you don't know, guess where those missiles are pointing at? See, they're not going to tell you this, and you're not going to look it up because you don't know what the missiles are pointing at. But guess what the missiles are pointing at? The missiles are going to be pointing at in wherever the country is, it's going to be pointed at the in the urban areas. Those missiles are pointed at the urban areas, and where they have urban areas and where they have military bases at. So that means the state of Texas is blown off the map, people, because we got a whole lot of military bases here in Texas. And so they have military bases everywhere. But those missiles are going to take out the urban areas. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Look it up for yourself. So then you'll know who this is about. Because the damn show ain't about it ain't about the rich white people. It ain't about them. They good. If you ain't at the top of that, you're not good. You ain't safe. You ain't safe. But at the end of the day, see, if they don't have enough people to make them their money, they got to get out there and make it themselves. So that's why they try to prevent the wars from happening. They could care less about you as a person, as a human being. They don't care about you. They care about their money. So basically, you're just another check for them. That's why they're desperate to keep that from happening. Let's be real. Go look it up. Again, don't take my word for it. Just go look it up for yourselves. And you will find these things out for yourself, people. All of this, the whole Christianity and indoctrinated, they did that. They pulled a number on us. They pulled a number on our ancestors. That's the way that they sold land here to begin with. And not just that, they colonized all these different countries. These Roman Catholics, they colonized all these different countries. Now you may see some parts where they were not able to colonize at, and they will get killed if they go onto that land. So when you see them attempting to coddle and to bring things down, that's what they were told to do, to calm the situation so that you could stay under their control. Don't take my word for it. Just go back and look at videos. Go back and look at some of these videos, and it'll show you exactly what I am talking about. Now that's waking up. So yes, the awakening is happening. So a lot of us are waking up to it. And what you did not want, see, you open Pandora's box with this whole internet thing. Even though y'all have control over the algorithms, so y'all put in our faces what you want to put in our faces as a way of controlling things too. That's a way of controlling things too. Black people, we got to go back to some old school stuff. We really do. We got to go back to some old school stuff. But with the knowledge that we have today, knowledge is power. And if we go back to some of these old school things and keeping folks out of our business, we may be able to make some things happen. But I'm about to get off of here. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, and tell another friend to tell another friend, and we can all be friends. And it's time for us to get on this good foot. It's time for us to get on the good foot. And I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.